Yeah, man. So everyone's a cold case detective now. All of TikTok is detectives. Rest in peace to Gabby Petito, man.
Yeah.
You know there's a podcast for it?
No way.
Someone started a podcast for it already. I thought that was kind of...
It's like weird. Like these people on TikTok, their entire like audience was created just because of this case.
Yeah.
They were like following it so closely.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, I don't know, let the police do their thing.
But then there's the other part of it where they possibly would not have found her body.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
So
true.
You can't be... I just think starting a podcast is weird because, you know, you're trying to read ads.
Well, that's a thing on TikTok too. It's like people are making money from their videos.
Yeah, I guess.
But I think it's also some people that just like are passionate about investigative stuff.
No, definitely. I mean, the bottom line though is if there wasn't all this talk about it, those travel vloggers who posted that clip, they may never have. They might have did that in like 3 years.
Yeah, it is pretty wild how that actually worked out.
You know,
I feel like that stuff, like that's the thing about these like TikTok accounts and stuff is that people are like, I can't believe the police haven't figured out yet that this observation. It's like they probably have. It's just they're building a case, so you can't.
Yeah, they can't just like say that
because it'll ruin their whole case.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, they're not going to be on TikTok talking about like the observations they're making and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and people just, you know, make these crazy, like, you know, there's so many stories in the past of like the wrong person being targeted because someone on social media was like, this is the guy.
Yep.
And then the guy's life is ruined. And,
yep.
And so like, I'm just floored by the fact that that actually was the van. Because like a lot of the comments were like, this is probably not it. Like it is coincidental, but most things are. And then that's where her body was found.
I read about the lesbian couple that was shot.
Yeah.
Apparently the connection was ruled out on that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was...
Again, like this is just me falling for this stuff. But this is pretty crazy. Like it was in the same area, like a couple days before her disappearance, right?
Yeah, they were found dead, I think, some days after they had been seen. So it's just like... but I guess their friends had, you know, said that this couple had described like a weird man outside of their home or something.
Her boyfriend, Gabby's, is now gone.
Brian Landry, yeah, that he's on the run.
So he definitely did it.
He did that and probably some more. You know, who knows? I mean, the theory is that he, you know, has murdered multiple people. That's what a lot of people are saying. Which, it's who knows? Like we'll have to see. But I didn't spend too much time, but I guess, you know, the loose connections people are making is there's like claimed sightings of him and then coincidentally people are found dead. But, you know, either way, apparently 710 indigenous people went missing in Wyoming in the past year or something.
Really?
Yeah. People are sort of saying like it's shitty that a YouTuber got all this attention. But I think the positive here is that now it is like putting a light on, I think it's Yellowstone.
I don't know where it was.
Whatever national park she went to. I guess it's a common occurrence that in this national park that people just go missing.
Wyoming National Park.
Why did I say Yellowstone? I don't know. It's just nuts that the internet sort of got it right.
Yeah. Yep.
Because with the Boston bomber situation, Reddit fucked that up.
That's the one I was talking
royally,
about.
Yeah.
That's the one I was talking about. Somebody got targeted unfairly, right? Because they were like, this is the guy.
It was a kid that had been missing. Right. It was like a family who lost their son who had gone missing. I think I have that right. And Reddit, for some reason, got the kids mixed up. And then all these people are posting and talking about, you know, this kid who had been missing. And the family just goes through all this trauma because the internet is like, your fucking son did the Boston bombing. And they're like, what? Our kid's been gone. Like, yeah. And it was something to the tune of that. But the bottom line is Reddit had gotten that wrong.
Right.
To the point that, you know, now forever, they're always having to moderate posts and shit because they're like, remember when we fucked it up?
Yeah.
So.
Do you see the random picture of the bald guy walking
Nah.
And a lot of people think that it's him.
Yeah, is he like barefoot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
the type of picture. Like that's what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah,
like
that
some dude living in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
That just looks like that guy.
Yeah, just barefoot and bald.
Yeah.
He's like 40 years old.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't had a girlfriend. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Between that and the doc I watched about that woman in Cork.
Yeah, that picture right there. Had Brian Laundrie been spotted, neighbors claimed to take a pic of Gabby Petito's bow. Bow?
I mean, that could be
it is
him
walking outside his home, so.
Yeah, okay, maybe that makes more sense. That's the thing about certain serial killers, man. They got the stupidest confidence.
Yeah.
You know, why is it that they want to get caught? Well, I guess like they want to become martyrs or whatever. Like they like the attention, which is sick. But I only can hope that, like anyone else, that they get this dude, because he needs to admit, bro, if he goes and kills himself in the woods, he fucking piece of shit, man.
Yep. Agreed.
He deserves to suffer. Sorry, that got weirdly dark.
Yeah.
Just saying, man.
No, it's true though. It is true.
Anyways, speaking of depressing things, let's talk about Bitcoin.
I'm like looking for something that's not depressing on here.
It was a hell of a weekend, man. I'll tell you.
Fucking Evergrande.
What about them?
They're like the second biggest real estate developer in China.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday, they defaulted on $300 billion of loans. So this is like, the size that could have economic repercussions around the world if they go under. So they like have been over leveraged for like years. Okay. Like it's kind of a Ponzi scheme a little bit. They build buildings, right? And like the Chinese housing market in like 2018-19 was like insane. And so they were building all these buildings super fast. They're borrowing money to do it, and then they'd sell the buildings, use that money, borrow some more money to do new buildings.
Yeah.
So they're kind of always borrowing money, super over leveraged, borrowing way too much, overexposed like crazy.
Didn't Vice also do a bunch of segments on these like Chinese superstructures that were like large housing complexes with no one in them?
Yes. So I think that was also them.
Okay.
But that was a while ago.
Yeah. I think
like ghost cities.
Yeah.
Yeah. They something about Evergrande where they like poured more concrete than the entire world in a certain year. I forget what year it was. And all these ghost cities because something, the market crash or something like that.
Yeah.
Which essentially is what's happening now a little bit. The market has kind of, I think, tanked a little bit because they impose all these rules. Anyways, now all of a sudden people aren't buying the buildings, and so they're about to default on $300 billion. They were so in debt that they asked all of their own employees to lend them money. And if they didn't, they would lose their bonus for the year. So their own employees were going to their families, getting them to invest money in their own company. And it was a loan, so they were supposed to be paid interest on it.
Oh my God.
And now all of a sudden the government was like warning people like, hey, Evergrande, I don't think they're going to be able to pay their interest.
2% of China's GDP. That is insane.
Yep.
I remember when those Vice segments about the ghost cities, they would say, this is all just to represent an increase in GDP for China. And it's like, for what? It's for nothing.
Yep.
Damn, those buildings are crazy. Economic meltdown. That's what we need. Way to make it positive, dude.
Yeah. Sorry. I mean, it's just really interesting.
No, it's super interesting.